everyone! In this video, we are going to talk about the transboundary haze in Singapore. Specifically, it will include the causes of the haze, how it transports from Indonesia to Singapore, the consequence of the haze, the current and proposed measures. Now, let's start. Singapore's transboundary haze results from the forest fires in Indonesia. Most of the fires take place in Sumatra and Kalimantan Island. One purpose of the fire is field cleaning. The local cultivators, who rely on shifting agriculture, use fire to clear land and burn agricultural wastes. The majority of those fires are used for forest clearance. In order to save the cost of bulldozers, many oil companies use fires as a more effective and convenient way to replace tropical forests by palm wood and oil palm plantation. The fires and haze can be worsened under the drought condition of El Niño, a climate phenomenon which reduces rainfall and increases temperature in the Pacific Ocean. And of course, Singapore and Indonesia are affected. During the El Niño events, there is high possibility of natural fire, and the haze in the air cannot settle down to the ground through rainfall. This year is an El Niño year. That is why the haze problem is more serious than many years before. The haze generated from forest fires in Indonesia is then blown to Singapore by southeasterly wind, which is the monsoon between June and October. This picture shows the motion of haze driven by the monsoon. The transboundary haze has adverse impacts on Singapore's development. This video shows the current situation of the haze problem. Haze from rainforest clearance fires in Indonesia blanketed downtown Singapore yesterday. Air quality PSI levels measured the highest in 2 years in the country and were deemed unhealthy. Visibility was poor and an ashy stench blew on the wind. Here, we can barely see downtown Singapore from less than a kilometer away. This guy running is doing a disservice to his respiratory health. Singaporeans, however, have gotten pretty used to the haze. Stores have stockpiled supplies of face masks, so there is less worry about the shortage like the haze crisis in 2013. Meanwhile, the glitzy F1 Singapore Grand Prix is scheduled for this weekend, with performances by Pharrell Williams and Bon Jovi. It will probably be cancelled if the air quality is this bad. In terms of the recent data, the PSI on the 5th of October is 183, which is considered unhealthy. From the trend, we can know that the air quality in September and October is equally bad and has no sign of getting better. Then we come to the consequences of haze. Firstly, Singapore experiences great economy loss during the haze period. This is because the thick cloud of haze in the atmosphere turns off tourists, grounds flights, and limits business activities. Secondly, the severity of transboundary haze puts strains on the relation between Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia. Although the combustion site is in Indonesia, many of the oil companies who use fires are from Singapore and Malaysia. Therefore, the three countries keep passing the buck between each other. In this way, the haze problem is never solved effectively. In this picture, the environment ministers from Malaysia, Brunei, Indonesia, Singapore, and Thailand meet together to discuss the hazardous smoke. Moreover, the fire and haze also causes biodiversity loss. The mortality of animals and trees in severely burnt areas is nearly 100%. The number of plants and corals living in smoky conditions are also found to decrease sharply because they cannot receive enough sunlight for photosynthesis. Fourthly, 40% of the fires occur on Indonesia's peatlands and peat swamp forests, which are rich in carbon. As a result, the deforestation in Indonesia contributes 15% to the global anthropogenic carbon emission. This could accelerate our global warming process. The most dangerous impact of haze is on human health. Haze consists of sulfur dioxide, particulate matter, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, and ozone. Those particles can enter human body, causing stroke, depression, heart attack, cardiovascular diseases, asthma, lung cancer, bronchitis, skin cancer, and can also damage our nervous system. Among all the particles, particulate matter is the most harmful. Particulate matter can be classified into PM10, which has the diameter of less than 10 microns, and PM2.5, which has the diameter of less than 2.5 microns. This picture compares their size with human hair. You can see how small they are. This video gives a vivid description of how particulate matter enters our respiratory system. PM2.5 can penetrate deep into lungs, but PM10 can only reach atria. Therefore, PM2.5 is more dangerous. Now that we are aware of the dangers of haze, so how can we protect ourselves?
One current solution to haze problem is engaging artificial rain, through which haze particles can be dissolved in raindrops and settle down to the ground eventually during the drought situations like El Niño, as mentioned previously. In addition, the best way to protect yourself during haze pollution is to stay indoor, closing the windows and opening the air conditioner with filtering functions. If it is not necessary, please avoid outdoor activities. If you have to go out, use closed transportation like subway, and remember to wear masks. The 4 essential characteristics of haze-proof masks are clear seal, antivirus, comfort, and trim to fit. Most importantly, users need to make sure that there's no air leakage at the side of the mask, as shown in the picture in the right-hand side. However, for the picture at the other side, haze could possibly be breathed in. Last but not least, a long-term measure that we propose is that countries involved in transboundary haze pollution have to negotiate and cooperate with each other to solve it from the root, and thus reduce it gradually. Hopefully, we will enjoy living in a garden city again in the future.